on the nature of Brahman. Why should we contemplate on nature of Brahman? Brahman is supreme reality, supreme truth, the basis of our existence, the basis of our life. When we are not aware of the basis of our life, we live in ignorance, and ignorance causes suffering. To know Brahman is the supreme goal of life. How easy or how difficult it is to know Brahman? Brahman is self-evident in the sense that the presence of Brahman is self-evident. The universe which we see consisting of time and space. The time, space, and living beings and non-living beings. Everything in the universe has some amount of dependence on other. There is nothing in the universe which can exist without dependence. The tree is dependent on sunlight. The water is dependent on river. River is dependent on the ocean. And water itself is dependent on molecules of atoms and molecules of oxygen and hydrogen. Like that, there is a dependency is the law of nature. Without dependency, there is no life. Brahman is self-dependent. He is not dependent. Brahman is not dependent on anything else. Brahman being substratum of everything, self-dependent. Everything else depends on Brahman, but Brahman itself is not dependent on anything else. The world consisting of living matters, living beings like us, and non-living beings like stone, mountain, and rivers. Brahman is all pervading reality. That means it pervades living and non-living. How does it pervade living beings? Living beings like us have consciousness. The Brahman is the consciousness. Non-living beings, the stone, mountain, the essence of them also is Brahman. The living being's essence is consciousness. Non-living being's essence is existence. Brahman pervades the entire universe as consciousness and existence. Brahman has no parts. Okay, everything else has a part. For example, chair has a part, table has a part. A car has wheels, steering wheel, body, multiple parts. Human beings have multiple parts. But Brahman has no parts. Brahman is free from all parts. The entire universe is one whole, pervaded by one whole Brahman. There are no parts in Brahman. Because Brahman is a part of Brahman is in you, Brahman is in you, it is not that Brahman has become fragmented. Brahman is totality. There are no parts in Brahman. Brahman is immutable. It doesn't change with time. Everything else in the nature keeps on changing with time. Change is the law of nature. Brahman never changes. The change can be supported only if there is something changeless. The changeless Brahman supports every change in the universe. Everything in the universe is just an appearance in Brahman. The entire universe of change is supported by Brahman, but Brahman himself Brahman itself is unchangeable. It's not dependent on time, but time depends on Brahman. Brahman is not dependent on space, but space depends on Brahman. Living beings are not Brahman. Beings are dependent on Brahman, but Brahman is not dependent on living beings. The stone and mountains are dependent on Brahman, but Brahman is not dependent on stone and mountain. Brahman is pure consciousness. The various kinds of knowledge we acquire, empirical knowledge is related to the world, and spiritual knowledge is related to the knowledge of the higher. Empirical knowledge is obtained through sense organs, or spiritual knowledge is through scriptures. All point to Brahman in the ultimate sense, because changing ultimately lead to the changeless. So to know Brahman completely as the essence of me as self and essence of everything is to realize Brahman. And this is the way to become free from ignorance and free from suffering.